So we have parents that are watching from the comfort of their home or their office because they couldn't be here. That doesn't mean that they don't love you or that they didn't want to see you get an award. But we have a pretty busy week this week. So today we have our honor roll, perfect attendance, nearly perfect attendance, IXL, all kinds of awards that we have to give out this morning. And we wanted parents to be able to celebrate with you, but we know that a lot of parents have already taken off time to come in to eat lunch with you tomorrow. So we figured that we would offer an experience where they could watch from their office or their home so they can see you win your awards. They can celebrate with you. You'll take your certificates and pencils and things that you get home with you, and then they'll be able to see them when you get home, okay? So a couple of things about honor roll / awards, marking period awards assembly. We have quite a few awards to give out. I think first, the largest stack of any of the grades on the table in my office. So everybody gets a big round of applause for that. We are so proud of all of your accomplishments. This is our first awards assembly that we've had at WECEC since 2020. So back in January of 2020, we had one, and then we haven't had one since because we had certain restrictions and things in place that didn't really allow us to have the assembly. So we're so excited to bring them back for our parents, for our students. We're happy for everyone that was able to come today, any that were able to join us via Zoom or Teams was the platform for today. So the students have a rundown of how this is going to work. Mr. Warner's going to call your name and you're going to come up on stage. You're going to come down the ramp. You'll come up on stage. You'll come across. I'll give you a certificate or a pencil. If you got honor roll, distinguished honor roll, which is all A's, or honor roll, which is all A's and B's, you will get a pencil from me. All right, it's going to be a lot for you guys to juggle. So you're not going to get a certificate and a pencil from me. The certificates will be given to you by your teacher. It's going to be too much for you guys to hold and handle and all of that. So you'll get a pencil from me for those awards. If you received perfect attendance or nearly perfect attendance, which is a new award this year. So we wanted to stress the importance of attendance, but we certainly know that perfect attendance is pretty hard to attain. And we know that you might get sick. We don't want people coming to school sick. So we have started a nearly perfect attendance award to reward those students who only missed less than 3 days in a marking period. So if you were here in 2 or 3 days where you were absent, you can still get the nearly perfect attendance award. You get a pencil that says perfect attendance. And we're going to celebrate that attendance because in order to learn, you have to be here at school. So that is a new award this year. You get a pencil for that. All of the other awards, there's some IXL, Lexia, and some caring awards that you'll come up and you'll get a certificate for. All right? Anybody have any questions? Good. I'm not going to answer them because they'll be answered when we go. All right? So your teachers may or may not ask you to collect your pencils. That way you don't lose them here. Sometimes they end up under the seats. People forget them. You come up for another award. You forget them. So your teachers may collect your pencils from you. And then they'll give them back to you when you get into the classroom. That way they don't get lost. All right? All right. So this is Mr. Warner's first awards assembly. All right? And there's a lot of names he has to say. So he might or may not pronounce your name correctly. If it isn't correct when he pronounces it, you can let him know when you come past the podium up here, and then he can get it right next time. All right? There's a lot of names to memorize. All right, so we will start like we always do for our awards assemblies. Everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag is behind Mr. Warner over here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am somebody, I will succeed. In school and life, I will achieve. Let's join together to work and share. Let's show the world we care. At Woodbridge GCEC, we are a team. At Woodbridge GCEC, we will reach our dreams. Very good. You have to tell them to do the school pledge. It just comes right after the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, again, thank you to the parents that are here visiting and those that are with us live stream. We certainly couldn't do any of this without your help and your support, so thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sears. As Mr. Sears said, this is my first awards assembly, so take it easy on me, okay? All right, thank you. All right, we're going to start with high honor roll, so that's all A's. When I call your name, you're going to come up onto the stage. Starting with Miss Ferris's class, we have Evan Bailey, Jalea Capel. Come on up. All right, next up from Miss Stevens' class, we have Jade Ash, Hayden Benson, Melanie Berto Mendez, Lenny Gomez Garcia, Croy Jefferson, Cody Lester, Rocio Lopez Chalel, Cole Martin, Gavin Morris, Selena Sanchez, Jazzy Stevens, Lilila Sturgis, Nevaeh Williams. From Miss Sturgill's class, Jaden Davis, Caleb Ramirez Sanchez, Louisa Warble. From Miss Knowles' class, Olivia Baker, Alexis Chalel Ramirez, Ryan Chittick Jr., Ryan Flanagan Jr., Alicia Garcia Velasquez, Owen Jackson, Kinsley Keith, Ryder Lang Wisman. From Miss Redner's class, Ren Bitter, Violet Habit, Richard Carell, Erica Gomez Ramirez, Devin Angel Lapera Gonzalez, Jaden Morales Leon, Mason Tatum, Philip Tavares Jones, Caitlin Twilley, Khalees Watts, from Miss Andrews' class, Mark Allen III, Adrian Campbell, Charlie Cannon, Isaac Chalel Gomez, Summer Draper, Michael Horsey Jr., Mariana Perez Gonzalez, Catalina Rosado Gonzalez, Edgar Serrano Tovar, Wesley Smith, Landon Talent, Piper Vanicola, and Joseph Zimmerman. From Miss Everton's class, Dallas Anderson, Melody Kerrigan, Isaac DeLeon, Major Desire, Kendra Gonzalez de Leon, Harrison Harding, Allison Humphrey, Allison Jimenez, Riley Kane, Mark Madden III, Abigail Mendez Sotos, Tegan Ott, Karen Vasquez Mendez, and Edie Whaley. From Mr. Hudson's class, Vanessa Burlingame, Callie Conaway, Evie Crisco, Aries Doherty, Gage Godwin, Kiara Horner, Henry Morales Hernandez, and Adeline Rogers. From Miss Hastings' class, Jordan Cannon Jr., Heavenly Corkle, Juliet Escalante, Cassidy Glover, Layla Geronimo Vasquez, Aubrey Jones, Grayson Kiefhofer, Hunter Kelly, Bryson Rugiers, Cambry Swain, and Hunter Swain. From Miss Visker's class, Jeremy Cardona Ramos, Jakai Hooks, Kendall Kilgo, Adeline Malandruco, Bentley Messick, Jason Moore Jr., Ashley Peachin, Alberto Ramirez Morales, and Preston Weaver. And from Miss Carrick and Miss Ricker's class, Braden Graham, Bryn Grammer, Matthew Harris Jr., Alexia Hood, Lexi Lathberry, Luca Mitchell, Jacob Pilot, William Proctor Jr., Zayla Quails, William Ramey, Valentina Ramirez Gomez, Luna Ramirez, and Gracelyn Tucker. How about a big round of applause for our high honor roll? All right, everybody face Mr. Sears. He's going to get a couple of quick pictures, big smiles.
Great job. We're so proud of all of you.
All right, nice job. While our high honor roll students are making their way back to their seats, next up we will be calling our AP honor rolls. So these are students that had all A's and B's on their report card for the first marking period. All right, we're going to start our AB honor roll list. Starting with Miss Stevens' class, we have Amaya Horsey, Wesley Perez, and Ranson Webb. From Miss Sturgill's class, Diana Fuentes Ramirez, Tegan Sims, and Abigail Willie. From Miss Knowles' class, we have Jaden Hopkins, Neff Miguel Roblero, Zechariah Murray, Josiah Newton, Avery Pearson, Ryan May Stone, and Judah Wright. From Miss Render's class, we have Azion Maynard, Paisley Custins, Gadiel Lopez Perez, Jackson Lord, Richard Prettyman III, Egypt Roberts, Yanarius Serrano Valentine, Kalea Tingle, and Hope White. From Miss Andrews' class, we have Emery Breeding, Jalea Darling, Derek Diaz, Jordan Lopez Niz, and Logan Wyden. From Miss Everton's class, we have Ian English, Santiago Rodriguez Perez, Harper Ross, Arian Smith, from Mr. Hudson's class, we have David Berthier, Jalen Colton, Evelyn McQueen Foy, Brielle McCarthy, Ashton Roach, and Allison Rodriguez Ortiz. From Miss Hastings' class, we have Danny Gonzalez, Clara Elizabeth Lederer, Angelo Perez Lopez, Liam Haila, Jace Reed, Oliver Santos Martin, and Alyssa Short. In Miss Visker's class, we have Francesca Bravo, David Herrera Mazriagos, Artie Lopez, Camden Smith, and Allison Velasquez Chavez. And in Miss Carrick and Miss Ricker's class, we have Cullen Brightywise. All right, how about a big round of applause for our AB Honor Roll students? All right. As our AB Honor Roll students head back to their seats, the next awards are going to go to students who have perfect attendance. No days missed for the entire first market period. All right, Mr. Sears, you ready for perfect attendance? All right, here we go. From Miss Ricker and Miss Carrick's class, we have Bryson Dennis, Bryn Grammer, Hunter Keene, Jacob Pilot, Zayla Quails, Luna Ramirez, and Landon Woolahan. From Mr. and Miss Sneller's class, we have Francesca Bravo, David Herrera Mazriagos, Jakai Hooks, Allison Velasquez Chavez, Hayden West, and Nakeem Wise Jr. From Ms. Hastings' class, we have Grayson Kefauver and Alyssa Short. From Mr. Hudson's class, we have Jaylene Colvin, Kiara Horner, Henry Morales Hernandez, Ashton Roach, and Adeline Rogers. From Ms. Everton's class, we have Dallas Anderson, Melody Carnigan, Allison Humphrey, and Tegan Ott. It says Anderson, but I'm going to say this is probably Miss Andrews' class. Adrian Campbell and Joseph Zimmerman. Good, I was right. From Miss Redner's class, Ren Bitter, Richard Carell, Erica Gomez Ramirez, Devin Gordy, Richard Prettyman III, and Mason Tatum. From Miss Knowles' class, we have Stacy Bamaka Aguilar, Jaden Hopkins, Ryder Lang Wisman, Josiah Newton, and Avery Pearson. From Miss Sturgill's class, we have Louisa Warfel and Abigail Willie. And from Ms. Stevens' class, we have Hayden Benson, Troy Jefferson, and Rocio Lopez Chilla. All right, let's have a big round of applause for our perfect attendance. All right, perfect attendance. You can go back to your seats. So this year, we wanted to recognize students who were still making an effort to attend school as much as possible, but we certainly understand that with illness and other things, that not missing any days is really tough. So the next group will be students who attended or missed less than 3 days. So 1 to 3 days of missed attendance in the first marking period. So this group will not be in homeroom order necessarily. So listen carefully for your names. Azion Banner, Jalea Capel, Rylan Collins, Owen Jackson, Sky Trammell, Shelby Abbott, Isaac Tulel Gomez, Derek Diaz, Julie Escalante, Diana Fuentes Ramirez, Danny Gonzalez, Helen Prettywise, Jason Moore Jr., Catalia Rosado Gonzalez, Landon Shockley, Caitlin Twilly, Mark Allen III, Fallon Amicio, Jade Ash, Ariella Bishop, Elena Burke, Vanessa Burlingame, Jordan Cannon Jr., Amanda Columna, Evie Crisco, Jalea Darley, Summer Draper, Ian English, Josie Gomez Sebastian, Lenny Gomez Garcia, Harrison Harding, Layla Geronimo Vasquez, Jokoved Joaquin Velasquez, Kendall Kilgo, Gadiel Lopez Perez, Artie Lopez, Jackson Lord, Evelyn McKean Coy, Jaden Morales Leon, Aubrey Mosley, Darian Nichols, Ashley Beechin, Valentina Ramirez Gomez, Caleb Ramirez Sanchez, Egypt Roberts, Adeline Rogers, Edgar Serrano Tovar, Wesley Smith, Ryan Maystone, Anthony Stoltz III, Cambry Swain, Gracelyn Tucker, Ranson Webb, and Bella Wisher. All right, how about a big round of applause for our nearly perfect attendance? All right, big smiles for Mr. Sears. All right, you guys can start heading back to your seats. While they're making their way back to their seats, the next awards are going to be for Lexia and IXL. For parents who are here or visiting virtually, IXL and Lexia are the two online programs that students use for reading and math. And they track the student's progress through the skills and standards that they are expected to know for their grade level. So the awards that are going to be handed out are going to be for students who have shown the most growth or met certain benchmarks in either of the respective programs. All right, so first up, from Miss Hastings' class, we have Clara Lederer and Alyssa Short. Come on up. And from Miss Everton's homeroom, Ian English. From Miss Ricker and Miss Carrick's class, we have Ariella Bishop and Alexia Hood. From Miss Visker's class, we have Preston Weaver, Artie Lopez Lopez. From Mr. Hudson's homeroom, we have Adeline Rogers and Kiara Horner. From Miss Redner's class, we have Gustavo Martin Chalel. From Miss Knowles' class, we have Stacy Bamika Aguilar. From Miss Stevens' class, we have Kaina Ayers, Rocio Lopez Chilel. And from Miss Andrews' class, we have Adrian Campbell, Derek Diaz. From Miss Sturgill's class, we have Caleb Ramirez Sanchez and Louisa Morkel. All right, how about a big round of applause for Alexia? All right, we get a quick picture. Big smiles for Mr. Sears. All right, thank you. You guys can head on back to your seats. We'll take the ring. All right, next up we have IXL Math. All right, so for IXL, for the Stevens class, we have Rosia Lopez Chalel and Aubrey Mosley. Yeah. From Miss Andrews' class, we have Adrian Campbell. From Miss Ricker and Miss Carrick's class, we have Valentina Ramirez Gomez and Gracelyn Tucker. From Miss Redner's class, we have Ren Bitter. And a special note that Miss Redner's class had the highest class growth of the first grade. From Miss Knowles' class, we have Kinsley Keith. From Miss Everton's class, we have Isaac DeLeon. For Miss Hastings' class, we have Cambry Swain. For Mr. Hudson's class, we have Gunnar Hastings. For Miss Bisker and Miss Snell's class, we have Jason Moore. And for Miss Sturgill's class, we have Diana Fuentes Ramirez. All right, let's give those mathematicians a round of applause. Big smiles for Mr. Sears. All right, guys. So while they're finding their seat, the next awards are going to be for awards that are related arts teachers. They wanted to nominate students who excelled in their particular areas. So in the gym, in the computer lab, the library, art class, and the music room. All right, so for computers, we have from Miss Hastings' class, Jordan Cannon, and from Miss Stevens' class, Rocio Lopez Chilel. From Mr. Jolly's music class, in Mr. Hudson's homeroom, we have Adeline Rogers, and from Miss Knowles' class, Kinsley Keith. From Miss Lee's library class, in Miss Bisker and Miss Sneller's homeroom, we have Preston Weaver. And from Miss Redner's homeroom, we have Jaden Morales Leone. From Mr. C's PE class, in Miss Hastings' homeroom, we have Oliver Santos. And from Miss Andrews' homeroom, we have Summer Draper. And for Miss Letnoff's art class, in Miss Everton's homeroom, we have Tegan Ott. And from Miss Redner's homeroom, we have Gustavo Martin Chilel. A big round of applause for our Related Arts Award winners. All right. So our next and final awards are going to be our Caring Behavior Awards, and I'm going to introduce our school counselor, Miss Moore, who's going to come up and she's going to share a little bit about what caring behaviors are.
morning. I am Mrs. Morgan, school counselor here. So we are giving out caring behavior awards, and each teacher has selected 3 to 4 students in their classroom who display the caring behaviors. So I want to remind the parents and that are here and that are watching what our 4 caring behaviors are. Okay, so I'm going to say the letter, and you are going to tell everybody what that letter stands for. Okay? All right, so the first letter is C. What does C stand for? Oh my goodness. What does C stand for? Courtesy. What does C stand for? What about the A? Attitude. What about the R? Responsibility. And the E? Excellent. So C is for courtesy, A is for attitude, R is responsibility, and E is for excellence. Your teachers have chosen one student to show each of those caring behaviors. So for courtesy, and this is so in Miss Hastings' class for courtesy, Layla Dromo Vasquez. In Miss Fisker and Sneller's room, David Herrera Madrago. In Mr. Hudson's class, Evelyn Quinn-Coy. In Miss Stevens' class, Josie Lucas Gomez Sebastian. In Miss Andrews' class, Landon Talent. In Miss Redner's class, Angel Mapera Gonzalez. In Miss Ricker and Miss Carrick's class, Cullen Prewag. And Miss Sturgill's class, Tegan Sim. For attitude, in Miss Hastings' class, we have Jace Reed. In Miss Fisker and Sneller's class, we have Kinsley Gordon. In Mr. Hudson's class, we have Vanessa Burlingame. In Miss Stevens' class, we have Cole Martin. In Mrs. Andrews' class, we have Mariana Perez Gonzalez. Mrs. Redner's class, we have Khalees Watts. Mrs. Knowles' class, we have Zechariah Murray. Mrs. Ricker and Miss Carrick's class, we have Hunter Keene. And in Miss Sturgill's class, we have Diana Ramirez. For responsibility, in Miss Hastings' class, we have Heavenly Porgal. In Miss Fisker and Sneller's class, we have Kendall Kilgo. In Mr. Hudson's class, we have Jochebed Velasquez. In Mrs. Stevens' class, we have Cody Lester. In Mrs. Andrews' class, we have Piper Vanacola. In Mrs. Redner's class, we have Hope White. In Mrs. Knowles' class, we have Olivia Baker. In Mrs. Ricker and Carrick's class, we have Will Rainey. And in Mrs. Sturgill's class, we have Abigail Lilly. For excellence, in Mrs. Hastings' class, we have Cambry Swain. In Ms. Fisker and Sneller's class, we have Jeremy Cardona Ramos. In Mr. Hudson's class, we have Aries Doherty. In Mrs. Stevens' class, we have Jade Ash. Mrs. Andrews' class, we have Charlie Cannon. Mrs. Redner's class, we have Mason Tatum. Mrs. Knowles' class, we have Kinsley. Mrs. Ricker and Kara's class, we have Valentina Ramirez Gomez. And in Mrs. Stone's class, we have Louisa Warble. For Ms. Everton's class for courtesy, Harrison Harding. Dallas Anderson for attitude. For responsibility, Tegan Ott. And for excellence, Isaac DeLeon. Let's give these kids a round of applause for showing their caring behavior in the classroom.
Courtesy 1, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, good job.